All right, I have with me today Zach Lyon. He is an admissions counselor at Bethel University. Zach, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, so just start off a little bit. Tell us a little bit about Bethel University. How many students go there? Anything, why a student should consider going to Bethel.
Yeah, so Bethel is a small Christian school up in northern Indiana. So we're in Mishawaka, which is right outside of South Bend, so Notre Dame country, basically. We're about a 10-minute drive from Notre Dame. We're about 1,100 students. Um, and yeah, I think some real big advantages of Bethel is the small environment. On average, your classes are going to have about 17 people in them. The student faculty ratio is 11 to 1, so you really get the one-on-one attention from your professors. They really care about you as a whole person more than just kind of a number on a sheet in a lecture hall. Um, and being in an urban area is a really big advantage for us as well. So being in the South Bend, Mishawaka, Elkhart region allows us to have several businesses that we're able to partner with. I think we partner with about 16,000 different businesses for internships and lots of hands-on experience.
Yeah, that's important right there to make sure you get that hands-on knowledge and hey, this is what we're going to do, or this is what I like, or I don't like this, or anything like that. So that's fair.
Absolutely, yeah. And every major at Bethel requires some sort of internship or like field work for educators, clinicals for nursing. Like we're always getting you out into the field that you're hoping to work in.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Yeah, I know a lot of people, when they get into the internship part of it, they're like, oh, this isn't necessarily what I wanted. And so it's important to have that. It's better to have that when you're in college than right when you get out of college.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So what do you look for in a potential student at Bethel, and what are some of the admissions requirements academically to get accepted there?
Yeah, so academically, we don't have super stringent admission requirements. We look for a 2.5 GPA or better, and then currently we're test optional. So as long as you're at a 2.5 or higher, we don't require SAT or ACT scores. If you're between a 2 and a 2.49, we do request to see test scores before we consider you for admission. And then there are also some more selective programs around Bethel, like nursing or education, that do require those test scores. But as far as general admittance, all we look for is a 2.5 GPA and a high school transcript, and we'll consider you. And it's always good to send in more than less. I've seen people with 4.0 send in like 7 letters of recommendation before. So it's always good if you have stuff to send it in, but all we require is the high school transcript.
Yeah, you can never have too many recommendations to get into a school or anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then as far as what we look for in students, I'm not sure there's necessarily an ideal Bethel person. We really have people from all different walks of life at Bethel. Obviously, we are a Christian school, so we do teach from a Christian worldview. So if you're not a Christian, you won't not belong by any means. I knew plenty of people in my time here who were not Christians themselves, but you may feel a little weird with some of the spiritual life aspects of campus and classes being taught from Christian worldviews. And then another huge thing is about 50% of our student body is athletes. So there's a lot of people in that department, and you really get to know a lot of other athletes. Or if you're not an athlete yourself, you really cross paths with a lot of athletes, which is great too, because you get in free to all of our sporting events as a student. So you can always go out and support your friends at their games.
How are you? What division or breakup are you of for athletics?
We are NAIA.
Okay. Okay. So then you guys can give athletic scholarships then.
Yes, we do give out athletic scholarships.
All right. Now you talked about earlier about the majors that all of the majors have to have some sort of internship, some sort of hands-on experience. What are some of the majors that you offer, some of the bigger ones? And are any of the majors like a direct admit where you have to have there are different requirements to get into those schools?
Yeah, so nursing is a huge major at Bethel. It's a very good program. Um, we and that is one too that has different requirements where you'll come in. I think the requirements off the top of my head are a 2.7 GPA and then certain SAT or ACT scores. There is a path for direct admittance as well, or if you come in normally, you'll just do a year of your kind of prereqs. You'll do anatomy and physiology for a year, and then you'll get into the School of Nursing. Nursing is, like I said, it's really a great program here. We have a lot of really good statistics we can show off. We have 100% job placement out of college and 100% employer satisfaction. Again, being in the urban area of the South Bend region, we have 3 pretty large hospitals that we can send students out to for their clinicals, and they're all 2 of them are, I'd say, within 10 minutes, and the other one is maybe 20 or 30 minutes. So you're not really driving super far to get your clinicals done, and you get to do 3 years of clinicals at Bethel. And then another big thing too is since we're a smaller school, you're not. It's not as, for lack of a better word, it's not as cutthroat of an environment trying to fight with multiple hundred people for 100 spots in the School of Nursing. Because we're so small, we don't really ever have to waitlist anybody to get into the nursing program. And then we have some really advanced simulators on campus that students can use while they're not out doing clinicals. When they are on campus in the classrooms, there's a lot of really great resources for nursing. So that's probably our best program. And engineering is another huge program at Bethel. Our real distinctive thing there is we have a 5-year plan where students, after their first 3 years, they'll do their first 3 years at Bethel getting a math and physics degree. And then for their last 2, they'll transfer into either Trine or to Notre Dame. And then they'll go into kind of their concentrations there. A lot of people choose to go the Notre Dame route, and our engineering professor has joked before that it's the easiest way to get accepted into Notre Dame is to go through our 3-2. And I think last year we had 5 people transfer into Notre Dame, and all of them got in. So I believe they just look for a 3.5 GPA out of our 3-2 program to get in. So as long as you're putting in the time, it's not so far-fetched of a dream to try and get into Notre Dame for engineering. And then probably our other distinctive program would be our sign language interpreting degree. So we're one of very few Christian colleges, or private colleges, I should say, that offer a sign language interpreting degree. So it's a very popular major as well if you are looking for that program in a smaller school environment.
Yeah, that's a new one. Probably a pretty niche one.
Relatively. I mean, I always felt like I knew a lot of sign language majors, and the program I know has been growing as well. So I think it's fairly niche, maybe in the fact that you won't see on the broad scale of high school graduates, you probably don't see a lot of people interested in studying ASL. But I mean, as the program grows here, I feel like I see more and more people who are like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were sign language."
Yeah, that's neat. That's a neat one. So, and then the nursing and the engineering, those are, I mean, always in demand, and they're always looking for people in those. So that's good. Okay, so the cost of college is kind of a big topic now, and so what is the cost to attend Bethel? And then I know everyone I've heard, it's been, this is the cost. This is the sticker price, but you won't pay it because of this. All of these financial aid options we offer. So what's the sticker price, and what are some of the financial aid options you offer?
Yeah, so sticker price, I mean, it's a private college, so it's a little daunting. It's $43,000 a year this year. Um, and then we, on average, we offer about $20,000 in financial aid. So I can launch into some of the scholarships we have. So a big one, you'll see this from a lot of schools, but we have a merit scholarship for academics. So based exclusively on high school GPA, it ranges from $8,000 to $16,000 per year. And then it's, since we're test optional, we base it exclusively off of GPA. But test scores can potentially bump it up. Since we don't require them, we don't ever punish for sending in test scores. But they could potentially bump. Like if you're at a 3.5, that would put you at $12,000. If you test exceptionally well, it could potentially get you up into the $14,000 bracket, even into the 16. So always send in test scores, even if the school doesn't require them. That's what your takeaway should be from this.
Yeah.
So there's that. We offer athletic scholarships, as I mentioned earlier. We have fine arts talent awards that students can audition for music, for art, and for theater. We also have a church matching scholarship. So if a student attends a church and that church has a scholarship for students in their church, if the student fills out a form, then they can turn it in, and Bethel will match the scholarship up to $1,000 per year. So that can be a great resource for students as well. We have a handful of specialty grants as well for any student who might be the son or daughter of a Bethel alum, or if they attend a church within our denomination, the missionary church. And then Bethel, of course, will accept any outside scholarships that they might win as well. And that's kind of the general overview of scholarships. Of course, there's need-based aid from the FAFSA as well.
Yeah. Now, so what was the sticker price again? My computer kind of froze up, so I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no worries. So sticker price, tuition and room and board, it's $43,000 this year.
Okay. All right. So plenty of financial aid too, and ways to get that cost way down. So no worries about that, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right. Last one. I'm gonna get you out of here on this one. What's something, think back to when you were going through this process. What's something that you wish you had known while you were going through this process that you know now?
I think the importance of visiting campuses. When I was a student, I only visited, I think, 3 or 4 schools I was considering, and I always did group visits. So always a lot more general, not really getting to meet with professors from areas I was interested in or anything like that. You kind of just get your tour and your general, like, here's, go meet with all these people from your department and let them kind of tell you the facts, the bullet points about their programs. I think if I would go through it again, I would do a lot more of signing up me to go visit campus individually and get to really talk with more people. And I kind of, I'll jokingly say this, I kind of lucked into Bethel. I was a dual credit student because I lived locally, so I was doing dual credit classes at the school. And I just decided one day in my class, I went up to my professor and was like, "Hey, I'm interested in this program. Do you have a person I can talk to for this program?" And she gave me his contact info, and we were able to meet up. And that's something I didn't really have in a lot of other visits, just because of the way that I went about visiting other campuses. And it really made a huge difference. And I think like when you visit a campus, especially if you visit individually and not in a big group, you can really get a feel for if you like these people, if you like the feel of campus. You really get to interact more with the people that you would be interacting with in your time there. So I think that's my 2 cents on that. I think visit visit every school you're interested in, do it individually, really try to get to know people within your program.
Yeah, out of all the interviews I've done, I think that's been the most common answer has been make sure you visit, because I mean that's, and ask questions when you go on the visit and everything, and so that's definitely been the most common one. It's just important to see what you're getting into on the campus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate your time and teaching us all about Bethel University and all the great programs that you offer. So once again, Zach Lyon, Bethel University admissions counselor.
Thank you.